Fatma. Today we are going to learn about two different topics. The first one is about the few standards of mass, time, and length, and the second topic that we are going to study is about the significant figures and also known as significant digits. All right. Before proceeding, I would like to give you a brief review about what we have studied in the last video lecture. In the last visual lecture, we have started a new chapter, that is chapter number 2, and it's about the measurement. And in this chapter, what we have studied about the physical quantities, the fundamental and the draft quantities. There are 7 basic fundamental quantities. Alright, I have already mentioned in the last video lecture, and there are numerous draft quantities, and the draft quantities are derived from the multiplication and division of the fundamental quantities. All right, and then we have discussed about the international standard, international system of units, that is SI unit, and I have given you some example how the formulas and how the units are derived. All right, and I have mentioned you to learn these two tables that are really important because these are the units and these are the symbol you are going to use in the further numericals. Now coming towards the first topic of today's lecture, that is about few standard measurements that you know on your fingertips. All right, so the first standard that I am going to mention is about the standard of length. As you all know that we measure the length in different units. The For length, we either use kilometer, we also use meter, we also use centimeter, and we also use millimeter. All right, so the conversion of kilometer into meter, and the meter into centimeter, and the centimeter into millimeter, and all of these the conversion and the interconversion of these things are really important to understand. From 6th to 7th class, I guess you have quite little bit idea that how these are getting converted, right? Just to give you a review that how much thousands and hundreds and tens are in these conversion. You need to remember these conversion. These conversion are really crucial because in the numericals you need to convert the given value of the given unit in this standard unit, right? The standard unit of length is meter. It is meter. If you want to see from here, the standard unit of length is meter, right? And mostly you need to convert the following variables into meters, centimeters, and kilometers. All right, now the conversion of the 1 kilometer, how many meters are there? There are 1000 meters. There are 1000 meters in 100 kilometer, and you can either say is 10 to power 3 meter. How 10 to the power 3? That how many zeros are there? 3 zeros. That these zeros represent the power of it. 10 is to power 3. I could say that in 1 kilometer there is 10 is to power 3 meter, right? And in 1 meter, how many kilometers are there? If I want to find out the value of meters in kilometers, how I could say it is 1 upon 1000 kilometers. And if something is going on division, then the power becomes in negative. This is the basic maths rule that I guess you must have an idea, right? Similarly, if I want to convert the meter into a centimeter, in 1 meter there are 100 centimeter. How many centimeters are there? There are 100 centimeters, and I could either write it as 10 to power 2. Like how many zeros are there? There are 2 zeros. I could say that in 1 meter there are 100 centimeter. And if I want to write the centimeters into meters, how I am going to write it? I am going to write it somehow like this: 1 centimeter is equals to 1 upon 100 meter, or either I could say it 10 to power minus 2 meter. Is that clear? Now the next conversion, if I want to convert the millimeter into meter, how could I say 1 millimeter is equals to 1 upon 1000 meters. 1 upon 1000 meters, and I could either write 1 upon minus 3 meter. Alright, and if I am going to write about centimeter, 1 centimeter is equals to 10 millimeter. So these are few basic conversions that you need to remember always, so that it would be really helpful for you for doing the future numericals. Alright, these all things are given on page number 15. If you want to revise it or if you want to memorize it, and you can do it either from this page, right? But make sure the standard unit of length is meter. The SI unit of length is meter. Alright, now the next conversion that we are going to study is about the conversion of seconds. And you all have idea that what is second and how the time is measured. Very easy. Time can be measured in seconds, can be measured in minutes, can be measured in hours, can be measured in years, and so on, right? But the standard unit of time to measure is in second. How I could measure the time in standard unit? It is in second. And in 1 minute, how many seconds are there? There are 60 seconds. And if I want to write the seconds in a minute, how I am supposed to write it? In 1 second there is 1 upon 60 minute. Is that clear? Similarly, in 1 hour, how many minutes are there? There are 60 minutes. And in 1 minute, how many hours are there? To be very precise, I could write it like this, right? There are few more conversion of the milliseconds and nanoseconds. For the millisecond, I could write it like 1 millisecond. In 1 millisecond, there are 1 upon 1000 seconds. How many seconds are there? 1 upon 1000 seconds. And I could either write this like 10 to the power minus 3 seconds. And the next is for nanosecond, 1 ns, n for nano, and the from word nano means 9. The nano means 9. So how many seconds could be in this? 1 to the power 1 and 9 0, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, and either I could write is 10 to the power minus 9 seconds. So 1 nanosecond is equals to 10 to the power minus 9. Is that clear? And they have already mentioned, I guess somewhere here. No, they have not. They haven't mentioned. You can either take the screenshot of this whole thing, so it would be really easy for you to revise. Otherwise, I will provide you otherwise I will provide the written work for this. And if you want to memorize it, it's better to take the screenshot of this picture. I'm just giving you a minute. Take a screenshot. Now, coming towards the next thing, the next big thing that we are going to study is about the significant figures. Alright, so what is meant by significant figure? What does the mean significant means, and how we are going to realize that whether the number we have seen, whether the number whether the XYZ number is significant or not. Alright, now if I want to keep the definition of the significant figure in the words, I could say that significant figures actually represent the accuracy with which you know your values, that how much accurate your values are and how much accuracy there is in your values. Alright, it is the part of your measurement. It is the most important part of your measurement, that how much extent your value is actually accurate. Is it accurate till 10? Is it accurate till hundreds? Is it accurate till 1000? How much time it is accurate, right? And if there is zeros, whether they are significant or not, where the zero is significant, where the zero is not significant, all of these things we are going to learn under the umbrella of significant figures. All these points that are written over here, right, I have just tried to make it into a chart sort of thing, that it would be really easy for you to understand, right? So in the numbers there are few non-zeros numbers and there are few zeros numbers. So what is meant by non-zero numbers? All the numbers from 1 to 9 are considered as non-zeros. What they are considered? They are considered as non-zero, and obviously zeros are called zeros. Okay, so first, basically the first thing you need to keep in your mind that all the number from 1 till 9 are non-zeros. Alright, so here comes the first rule. The first rule for the significant figures are that all the non-zero numbers are significant. All the non-zero numbers are significant. Like, let me give you an example. If I am writing a number like 2, 3, 4, 5, right? I could say it's 2345. There is no zero in between them, there is no zero before them, there is no zero after them. I could say that it has 4 significant figures. How many significant figures it has? It has 4 significant figures. 1, 2, 3 and 4. This number has 4 significant figures. How many significant figures it has? It has 4 significant figures. The first rule, it says that all the non-zeros number are significant. If there is no zero, then all of these numbers are significant. They have their own value. Their value cannot be neglected in any measurement. Is it alright? This is a very basic rule. Fine. So the next rule, what they have said that the zeros between non-zero digit, listen it carefully, zeros between non-zero digits are significant, right? What it says that, like if I am taking a number 2051, it says that 2051, the zero between the non-zero are significant. If there is a zero that lies between the non-zero figure, then it also counted as a significant value. So in this case, how many significant figures we have? Again, we have 4 significant figures, 1, 2, 3 and 4. It has 4 significant figures. Let me just take one more example, like if I say 16023, what is there? It says 16,023. In this, again, there is a zero between the non-zero. So if a zero lies between the non-zero number, it also become a significant figure. How I could say? I could say it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It has 5 significant figures. Is that clear? Now coming towards the third rule, which they have mentioned that the leading zeros are not significant. All the leading zeros are not significant, right? What it says, let me just give you an example. If I am writing a number like 0.54, right? It has a leading zero. What it has? It has a leading zero. So all the leading zeros are not significant. So how much significant figure it do have? It has 1, 2. It has 2 significant figure. Is that clear? The leading zero is not significant. Make sure it is not significant. Let me give you one other example. If I say 0.0032, right? How many significant figures are there? There are only 2 significant figures, 1 and 2, because these are leading zeros, and it has no significant figure, and it is not important. So I could say that in this whole number, how many significant figures are there? There are only 2 significant figures. Alright, now coming towards the next rule that we are going to study. This rule says that the trailing zeros to the right of the decimal are significant. What is meant by trailing zeros? The zeros that are lying after the number, right, are significant. What it say? It is if I am writing is 92.00. What I am writing? 92.00. These zeros are significant. How these numbers are significant? These numbers are actually indicating that your measurement scale is accurate up to 100. Up to 100. It's 10 and it's 100. So I could say that in this, how many significant figures are there? There are 4 significant figures. 1, 2, 3 and 4. How many significant figures are there? There are 4 significant figures, right? If I am saying that, let me take one more example, 78.00. So same here, how many significant figures are there? There are also 4 significant figures, because according to the 4th rule of significant figure, the trailing zeros to the right of the decimal are significant. Alright, now the next rule is that the trailing zeros in the whole number with the decimal shown are significant. Again, listen to it carefully. Trailing zeros in a whole number with the decimal shown are significant, right? What it says, let me give an example. If I am saying like 500 dot, what I am saying, 500 dot, there is a decimal after this. It indicates that the trailing zeros are significant. So I could say that in this number, how many significant figures are there? There are 3 significant figures. But remember, if there is no decimal at the end, then the trailing zeros are not significant. If I am saying like 500 and no decimal at the end, then what I can say, it has only 1 significant figure, that is 5. It may sound strange to you, but this is the rule, right? The next rule what they have is the exact number have an infinite number of significant figures. Okay, so the next rule is that in the physics or in the upcoming classes, you are going to write the number, and in the 9th class you have already done this work, right? You have written the expressions like notations like 5 exponent 5 or 6.23 exponent 24, something like this, right? So this is actually a scientific notation. For the number in scientific notation, like I could say it as n exponent x. Take the power as x and the notation as n. All the digits comprising n, all the number which have the n in it, right? Like if whether it is 5, whether it is 6.023, all of these are significant. What are these? These are significant. But the number above this is not significant. Basically, the x is not significant because it is a trailing zero, as I have already mentioned in the above this rule. In this, how many significant figures are there? There are only 1 significant figure. And in this case, how many significant figures are there? There are three significant figures. 24 is not a significant figure. What 24 is representing? 24 is representing then that after 6.23, how many zeros I could add? I could actually add 24 zeros. Okay, class. After this, uh, take out your book, right? And from your book, what I am doing the numericals that you are supposed to do. These numericals are basically the conversions, right? The numerical, the problem number 2.2, 2.3 and 2.4. In these numerical, what you have to do, you just simply have to do conversions. Like in first question, just give it a read. What they have said: the mass of the electron is 9.11 exponent minus 31 kg, right? And we have to convert into the grams, milligrams and micrograms. In question like this, it is very important for you to memorize that how we are supposed to do the conversions, right? Let me give you one more thing to just keep in mind, that how you are going to multiply and divide. When you are going to multiply and when you are going to divide, the following things. If you are going from bigger to smaller, right? If you are going from bigger to smaller, what you are going to do is you are going to multiply the things. You are going to multiply the things. Multiply, whether the conversion is 1000, 100, 10. But if you are going upward like this, what you are going to do? You are going to divide. I will talk about the unit of length. Then how many units we have? We have kilometer, we have meter, we have centimeter and we have millimeter. Like if I want to convert kilometer into millimeter, or kilometer into centimeter, or kilometer into millimeter, what I am going to do? I am just simply going to multiply. What I am going to do? I am going to do multiplication. Multiplication of what? The conversion from kilometer to meter. If I am doing meter to kilometer, if I am doing kilometer to centimeter, and if I am doing kilometer to millimeter. Like in the starting, you can take the help from your book. On the book page number 15, on page number 15 they have given the conversion. Like I want to go into kilometers, and like 1 kilometer is equals to 1000 meter. So if in this step, what I am going to do, I am just simply going to multiply 10 is to power minus 3 to what number I am going to convert it. Similarly, if I am going to go from meter to centimeter, what I am going to do, I am just simply going to multiply it with 10 to the power 2. And if from centimeter to millimeter, what I am going to do is I am just simply going to multiply it with the 10, right? So this is how the conversion is done. And if I want to go from the smaller unit to the bigger unit, what I am going to do, I am just simply going to divide these things. Same for the length, same for the mass and same for the time. If you are coming from higher unit to the lower unit, make sure you need to remember this sequence. Like the higher unit in length is kilometer, then it's meter, then it's centimeter, and then it's millimeter. In the end there is millimeter and then nanometer and then so on. If you are going from upper to the lower side, you need to multiply the following notations. But if you are going from lower side to the upper side, what you need to do is you simply need to divide this. So now coming towards the problem of your book, what it says that the mass of an electron is what is the mass of electron? I am doing 2.2. The mass of the electron is data. First of all, you are supposed to write the data. What they have given is they have given you mass of electron. What is the mass of electron? It is 9.11 exponent minus 31 kilogram. They have given in the unit of kilogram. What you are supposed to do, you are supposed to convert it into convert the mass into grams, right? And then milligrams, I could write it as mg, and then micrograms, I could write it like this. Alright, so these are the conversions that you are supposed to do in this question, right? Start doing like solution. As you all know that 1 kg is equals to how much grams? Is equals to 10 exponent 3 grams or exponent 1000 grams, right? Simply what you need to do is you need to convert. How you are going to do is what they have given the mass 9.11 exponent 31. And remember, I just told you that when you are going from upper to the lower side, what you are going to do is you are going to divide, you are going to multiply. Then what you have to do, you just have to multiply this notation 10 to power exponent 10 to power exponent 3, right? In this question there is no number here, so write it simple, and just when the bases are multiplying, the powers become added. What the power become? They become added. So x31 plus 3, how I'm supposed to write? 10 to power 11 exponent plus minus minus, the bigger number size always come, right? And when I'm going to subtract it, it will become exponent 28 gram. So the mass of the electron in grams, how I'm supposed to write it? I'm supposed to write it like this. In the similar way, you are going to do the rest of the conversion. You have to convert into milligrams and the microgram. You have try to do all of these questions. These are basic questions of conversion. Try to do it. If you find any difficulty in it, you can ask me. Thank you so much, class, for listening to me. Stay home, stay safe.